Chat, here we go. We have a best of 5 between Vatira and Mawkzy, 2 players who will be participating in Salt Mine 3 in the coming days. So courtesy of HelloFresh, we got ourselves a nice matchup for these guys to practice. Now, if you just saw the announcement minutes before this started, or if you're watching it back on YouTube probably a few days ago, these guys will not be playing in the same group. Doesn't mean they couldn't eventually meet each other in the playoffs of Salt Mine 3, but they're at least not guaranteed to play each other in the first stage. And Mawkzy is going to start with a little aerial play. The reset threatens, but ultimately lets the ball fall down to the ground with a wave dash shot. I think the last time that we've had Vatira on was against Rawas. I want to say we had Vatira on against Rawas in what I believe was, what did I call that tournament? I don't know, the most recent one I ran. You guys will remember. Either way, Vatira played well. He took Rawas to game 5. Wasn't able to take him down. I think he sent a tweet afterwards saying that it was hard to bump him, him being Rawas, because of his higher ping. And then that was before everyone went to Gamers 8. I think Rawas responded with saying, hey, you know, be my guest. Try and play on this ping and see if it's a helpful advantage. Well, both these guys seem unable to dodge each other's bumps at the start of this game. Vatira scoring with one. Now Mawkzy will take it up off the kickoff and bump Vatira. The wave dash kickoff is something that I remember Vatira being solid in. Mawkzy is one of the players who uses it as a default, and will be going back and forth to it. This is, you know, some of 1v1's viewers' nightmares. A lot of people think that how this match has gone so far is how every 1v1 goes, which is just a kickoff and then an air dribble bump, kickoff, double jump bump. I promise that that is not the case, as these guys find better ways to cut each other off of these kickoff possessions. This time Mawkzy doesn't get the boost off the kickoff, but flicks the ball away, forces Vatira back to the goal line, who just got a bit lost with the ball. Yeah, he was trying to take it to his back corner. Mawkzy's going to punish him if he doesn't stay in control of the ball. Mawkzy has been locked in preparation for Salt Mine. As a guy who's focused mostly on 1v1. Nice shot from Vatira. These guys are just eating each other apart with kickoff plays. You know, this one was a wall to air dribble reset, but at the end of the day, it still scored seconds after a kickoff win. So both of them should be looking to neutralize that a bit more. But as I was saying, you know, Mawkzy, this is probably his big moment. He's been focused on 1v1 a lot more than many of his opponents in the Salt Mine 3. And he has an opportunity to show just how much more work he's put into it if he can win it. But for now, I know a couple people are asking, and just in case it wasn't clear already, this is not a match that is a part of Salt Mine 3. It's just a nice show match brought to us by HelloFresh as a warm-up. Mawkzy into the back right corner. Vatira wanted to threaten that flick into a low 50, and he has had a really tough time sticking with the ball. You see these guys dancing around it. But the reality was, Vatira, if he were to touch the ball, was just going to give it to Mawkzy, and Mawkzy just sitting there waiting. Vatira tried to time it on Mawkzy's back and forth such that he could sneak it past him, but Mawkzy just collects the pass. 6-2. The prize pool currently stands at $150 for this matchup. 100 of that courtesy of HelloFresh, but a couple donations before the match started. Vatira, interesting pre-jump. That comes out as a result of all these air dribble bumps we've seen earlier. Every time someone's had a carry possession, they've gone for it. So Vatira pre-jumping over it and actually doing a good job to stay down well enough not to get exposed with the low roll under. Now he's undercut Mawkzy, so a solid defensive stand. Can he cap it off with a little bit of offense? He has the resets, and Mawkzy waiting as long as possible to challenge. Partly because he doesn't have a ton of boost, but he sees Vatira on that dribble, and he respects it so much. I think he needs to try and get up and make a play probably a little bit earlier. But for now, feeling good with his 3-goal lead. Forcing Vatira to outplay him. Not a bad way to start a matchup. Vatira just gets lulled to sleep here as Mawkzy catches and taps it right past him. Vatira is watching the replay as well. He just didn't expect Mawkzy to get that strong of a shot. Looked like Mawkzy had maybe lost the dribble, but he had a plan the whole way. But as I was saying, Mawkzy, the past couple times that Vatira has air dribbled, he has stayed fairly grounded. And it's not the worst thing in the world to force your opponent to prove they're mechanically on in the day you're playing against them. I mean, there's no question that Vatira can hit those shots. But can he hit them today? Well, sometimes the answer is no, and then that makes your job really easy as a defender. But so far the answer is yes. Vatira's had no issue. So I think we'll see Mawkzy maybe when he's in a bit more trouble diving quicker at those air dribbles. Vatira, though, the midfield has just been not his game. Every time he's tried to control the ball and earn a possession, oftentimes he's just handed over freebie goals for Mawkzy. Big kickoff win. I think most of his goals have come that way. Can he do it again? This time, the air dribble a bit high. So he just forced to protect it while getting the reset. Mawkzy, I mean, he is just playing a keep away. He's going to make this a pogo shot. Vatira's going to go next. This one has been a bit tough. He's out of the game. I don't know if he knows that I can end it for him. But game number 1, going to go to Mawkzy. He seems to be fully in control of this match as we head on in the best of 5. Game number 2. Vatira needs to be able to find a way to hold on and maintain possession in the midfield. So far, all of his offense has come quickly off the kickoff, and Mawkzy has managed to steal away this kickoff possession. Vatira, nice pre-jump. Stopped Mawkzy early. Can he get back to the ball first? He can. He's tapping it on target. Should be a goal. Vatira. A great defensive stand, and he does so by predicting Mawkzy's dribble long before he even started it. And he's first back to the ball after the ceiling reset, so maybe the first lead we've seen for Vatira in the series at a 1-0. Oh, that was a little bit of lag from me. Looks like just my connection to the game, though. You guys should have saw that as well. Vatira dribble from the back corner. Mawkzy continues to play very passively in his defense. I can't remember. I don't think Vatira had a reset, did he? I'm not sure it's going to show us on that dribble. He had a threatened pogo potentially. Maybe that's what Mawkzy backed off for. But normally a dribble without a reset is a very easy dribble to challenge. Vatira does connect on this kickoff goal. 3-0. This is the kind of bounce back that Vatira likely needed. Even though he had some goals and at some point it seemed kind of close in game 1. The kind of goals Mawkzy was scoring where he's just chipping it past Vatira at will really should have a defender worried. Vatira seems to have it figured out. Wave dash kickoff for Mawkzy gets him on the board to start this game. Seemed like he maybe tried to get a little wave dash bump there, but it took too long to come to the ground, and Vatira winning the midfield. And that has been something he did not do at all in game number 1. First to the ball, making Mawkzy miss now. Mawkzy seemed focused on catching the ball, and I'm not sure for what purpose. Wasn't grabbing boost, and oh my goodness. Vatira, did he just own goal? No, he didn't. He was able to force Mawkzy off the shooting line, and his incredibly powerful flick, which oftentimes when it goes too high is a direct shot on your own net pretty much by launching it backwards, but he did manage to stop it at least for a moment. The air dribble bump, though, has proven to be too strong when given space. And Mawkzy closes the distance to 2. Vatira, another fairly straightforward air dribble as far as the 1v1 meta nowadays. Mawkzy just refuses to go up to try and meet him. He tries to stay glued to the ground as long as possible, probably because he felt that Vatira's dribble wasn't great and that his shot would likely be something he could save easily. And if you could save it easily on the goal line, there's a good chance you recover quickly and set up a counter. So I think Mawkzy's thinking about offense. If all he cared about in the world was stopping Vatira's shot, I think attacking it earlier is certainly the right play. Vatira diving in far too deep into the corner, and his attempt to cut through and bump Mawkzy did not succeed. Mawkzy. Air dribble reset. Hands the ball to Vatira, who arrives at the midfield just in time for the 100. Now that shot is the kind of shot Mawkzy is hoping for. One without much movement, and this is that kind of goal line save to counterattack that Mawkzy was trying to get earlier as well. He was expecting to get that easy of a shot to save on the previous take, but Vatira managed not to allow that. This time around, Mawkzy gets it. He is slowly erasing that lead. We saw a surge at the beginning for Vatira. Mawkzy has certainly equalized. Vatira doing his best to hold on to this 40 to 50 boost until the moment he has to use it. Even here, he's just kind of faking an attempt off the ball, off the wall. What he really wants is for Mawkzy to back off, but he finally decides to use his 50 to clear it to the orange corner. It results in a Mawkzy possession, who has been so good with space, but Vatira closes the distance, forces the early flick. It looked like it was going to work for Mawkzy, but Vatira makes the recovery, and again, he's being so grounded and cautious with his boost usage here on defense against Mawkzy. Mawkzy with 32. Looking to force Vatira into defense right away. And Vatira ultimately going to be forced to back off. 31 boost for Mawkzy. Vatira tried to close it with wall dashes. Even though he doesn't get the ball, he does convince Mawkzy to basically give up on that possession. A ground pinch will be a goal for Vatira after a lot of back and forth with that possession. Wave dash kickoff for Mawkzy. A couple camera checks. It's impossible watching from our perspective when we can't see or can't time when he's going to do it. But I'm assuming he is picking up a bit of information from that. Great pass, says Vatira, as Mawkzy just chips it out to the midfield. And I made him watch it a little bit too. The first of any communication between the two. I feel like Vatira and Mawkzy games that we've had in the past have gotten at least a little bit chippy. I'd be surprised if this match went silent the entire way. And are we going to see a great pass back if Mawkzy scores this? Vatira certainly helped tee it up for him as he launched it almost directly into the net. Vatira looking for a tough angle out of the corner. He actually had it, forcing Mawkzy to make the save. Problem is Mawkzy had no trouble doing so. Now with a minute left to go, Mawkzy wanted to get a touch on that catch, missed it, and then was forced to jump to protect the ball because it had such a high bounce. Mawkzy would have preferred not to have to do that. And Vatira ultimately able to gain possession with a minute left to go. Mawkzy gets demoed, and Vatira, does he want a goal or does he want possession? Late, he feels good about an additional goal. This does put them back at the kickoff. Vatira had an option to waste probably 15 to 20, so basically half the game left over. Keep Mawkzy at 2, but probably is the better decision just to make it 3. Of course, it's easy to say now since he didn't instantly lose the kickoff, but you instantly lose 2 kickoffs in a row and you're going to regret not just wasting some time. Vatira rolling this to the orange back wall. Missed his dash, but actually just got bumped into the boost, so everything worked out. Now maybe a demo. Yeah, very clear. Mawkzy in this corner is going to have a tough time corralling and controlling the ball. He's going to be very stagnant, and Vatira landing off a dash. It's so easy to get the speed and grab that demo. 14 seconds in. Vatira certainly winning this game number 2. Oh, he's going to put a little stylish double in as well. Both these guys have their zap dashes on landings, but so far only used in celebration. Vatira, one more for the road. An 11-goal game. Not going to happen. Mawkzy stops it. Tied series. 1-1. $150 on the line. A best of 3 left to play separates them. The spammed additional GGs because Mawkzy did not respond with a GG. The first GG and then a slight pause. Give him a chance. But when he doesn't say GG, hit him with the spam. Game number 3. Both players controlling the game they won from the very start, I would say. And I've said it once, I've said it a million times. Oftentimes, matches will go that way, especially between fairly equal players. It takes them both one game to read how the other likes to win, and then from then on out, you have a bit more of nail biters. We'll see if that's the case with game number 3 between these two. Mawkzy has the first goal. Vatira, interesting carry. Very impressive display of control, but one that wasn't really forced considering how far away Mawkzy was. Vatira air dribble bump. He gave him a little hug. Who says there's any salt between these two? Vatira giving him an air dribble hug. Mawkzy wants to watch it back because he feels so sentimental about it. Oh, another hug at the midfield. They can't stop being best buds. But this time the hug favors Mawkzy as he gets down to the ball and still gets his wave dash off that. Crazy. +1 the ball into the blue half. Top it off. Big kickoff for Vatira. And he just barely able to avoid pressure from Mawkzy. First touch out to the midfield is strong and quick, which is going to force Mawkzy to the goal line sooner than he probably would have liked. Great control by Mawkzy to keep this out of Vatira's way. I mean, Vatira was on 0, but if he doesn't perfectly carry this ball, then Vatira gets to affect that play, likely send it off into a wall to buy himself a bit of time. Mawkzy's a dashing maniac right now. He gets a wall dash as well. Mawkzy throwing every dash out there in the book. The wave dash kickoff gives another wave dash. He gets the wall dash as part of the setup for the shot. Who needs boost when you can dash like Mawkzy? Oh, he missed this one. I hyped him up too much. Vatira now sweeping hook shot. The timeless 1v1 move. Oh no, Vatira missed on the follow-up. Got Mawkzy to miss. You see the nice shot? The occasional roast between these two. Oh, Mawkzy gifted a 50 here. Vatira won't be able to get back. Thanks, close one, says Vatira. Mawkzy's the one watching this one, by the way. Always an important note in 1v1. He's letting Vatira watch him tap it in. Vatira, the single jump wave dash setup, both to get a bounce that he can work with well and dash back to the ball. Problem though is he launches a flick too high. He was trying to telegraph an early challenge to get Mawkzy to get rid of the ball, and I think it slightly worked. He has some possession now. 5 boosts left over for this flick. It's a fairly strong one. Mawkzy, not the touch he probably wanted. I think there was an opportunity for a long shot directly at the net, but he sends it too high. Able to beat Vatira out to this ball. Has a 5-1 lead. Reset near the goal line. Soft touch. Plays into the low boost Vatira's hands. Vatira finally able to reset. Can he chase Mawkzy down to this corner? He can! He has no boost left over, though. Mawkzy, if he spawns far. Oh, Mawkzy with the best spawn possible. Right next to the play. Retakes it. Almost got a goal of his own. But had to flip through that without getting contacted by Vatira, which forces the angle wide. Now Vatira, he is in a great flick position, but he actually just goes for a bump. That fast dribble with his ball placement on his car could have launched a flick to the left side. Maybe that's just because we get a bit too used to watching Mawkzy do that. Mawkzy flipping into the reset. Gets another Mawkzy in the air. And a 6-1 lead. Vatira had 40 to work with, but he just had to watch Mawkzy go to work. And he was so close, pixels away, but not enough. It's another game heavily in favor of Mawkzy. Vatira to the side wall, electing to not take the air dribble, which I think is usually a bad sign for a player in the ones meta nowadays. Now, he was able to score quickly. He had Mawkzy high in the air, so you could argue that that was the reason why, and hopefully it was. What we don't want is for Vatira to be losing confidence in the air. You need to be able to take any sort of attack. As long as we just assume it was just a reaction to the way Mawkzy was setting up in defense, and we could still be fine as Vatira fans in chat. Wave dash kickoff for Mawkzy. Undercut by Vatira. Strong possession for him. He sticks to what he's been doing, which is first touches, heavy first touches towards the play, towards the net, and work from there. Mawkzy not going to play this one in the air from the back corner. Not the best of starts to his dribble. And yeah, we'll end with no positive results. Vatira bumping Mawkzy in the process of setting that one up. He's going to try and go for it again, and why not? As he tries to inch his way back. Mawkzy securing this kickoff goal by flipping Vatira off the play. Mawkzy sends this one high, biding his time. Vatira is doing his best to stay aggressive, but seems the time to leave was imminent. Mawkzy the double, read by Vatira. Perfectly covered that top corner. Now chasing Mawkzy down. Look at the snaking he's doing on the field. An attempt to read Mawkzy's setup. He's going to get another goal. Delayed flip this time. He uses it while underneath the ball. Delay kickoff for Vatira. 43 seconds. Has a great opportunity. He's going to make a first touch directly at net. There is an opportunity to try and go off the back wall maybe as a setup. Playing it to the net immediately. Does play it a little bit slower and plays it to Mawkzy. Just the downsides of both. Vatira can't do anything out of the air here. So it will bounce on the goal line, and Mawkzy is more than willing to waste a bit of time. If he sees Vatira leaving, he will pull this ball back into the corner. Of course, you're going to get the salt from Vatira, as just about everybody has when they see their opponent in the lead, preventing them from being able to play. But Vatira, that bounce into the air with zero boost ends the game. Cannot float around like that without anything to work with. So Mawkzy will take the lead in game number 3. It's a 2-1 series lead for him as we head to game 4. Game number 4. Vatira and Mawkzy. Mawkzy with first possession off this kickoff. Vatira playing the ball though, can't quite get around it. Ooh, and then he just passed to Mawkzy. That could be a bit of a tilting moment. He could see his opportunity, and if he had a little bit more boost, he could have gotten around the ball sooner and put it on target. The problem is he didn't adjust his game plan after realizing that he couldn't do it. Once you can't do it, you can't just be tapping the ball to the back wall and handing a pass. That's exactly what Vatira did. Vatira to the skies. His reset. Puts a strong shot high in net, but from a distance that Mawkzy can react to. Vatira, he has been flicking so frequently to the backboard instead of the crossbar in the net. Even the crossbar is favorable because those bounces are much easier to handle instead of just launching it back towards your own net. Mawkzy the hook shot. What power to secure it. 2-0 for Mawkzy. Mawkzy dashing as he chases Vatira down. Never gets a chance to, though. Vatira is able to jump to make a play on the ball. Mawkzy's hoping that he could intercept him. He had to make a catch, probably. Mawkzy, is he already playing his lead, or does he really just want a back corner dribble? No, I think he feels good about baiting Vatira in and then getting that setup off of the corner to start the dribble. It looked like this dribble had no hope for Mawkzy, but he found a way to make it work with a nice low reset, just barely not touching the ground in the process of getting that shot. And it surprises Vatira for a now 3-0 lead. Mawkzy trying to chase Vatira down, undercuts him, doesn't get the goal, or sorry, doesn't get the bump, but does get the goal, or doesn't get the demo, I should say. I think he did get a slight bump. Another wave dash hug at the midfield. Mawkzy will be first to this back corner. Able to steal both corners from Vatira. Vatira wanted a pinch, and that net was open if he could get the angle. Didn't get the power. Now Mawkzy, I think he wants to bait Vatira in. He'd rather start this dribble with Vatira close. He's just wasting time right now, but a little bit too greedy with that, as his dribble goes completely the wrong way, and most importantly, loses complete sight of Vatira, who has no issue at all demoing him. Smart decision, too, by Vatira to go for the demo. Instead of trying to make a play on the ball, there could be, a desire to try and go for some sort of 50 or some sort of steal, but it's so much more reliable to just take the defender out, then no matter where the ball goes, you can figure it out after. What a flick from Mawkzy. Didn't seem like a scoring position, facing the wrong way. But he catches the ball, turns off ball cam, and just flicks it right back perfectly on target. That's actually ridiculous. Watching it from Vatira's perspective was one thing, but man, Mawkzy, knowing he had a ball cam off for that long, I mean, he just knew exactly where to put the ball. Vatira on the board with a second goal for the first time in a while. This game's certainly not over for him, as he has half of it left over to make up this 3-goal deficit. Mawkzy approaching the play, forcing Vatira to pop the ball, but Vatira does so with ease and cannot get a low 50 through the brick wall that is Mawkzy. Make sure to win the race for this boost, and the undercut means a possession for him. And as always, Vatira, a really heavy first touch whenever he gets possession. Tries to turn it right back the other way. This time the long shot plays right into Mawkzy's hands. He is back there already. Mawkzy, yeah, he is going to follow that up. I'd like to see Vatira maybe attempt a bit more controlled plays whenever he gets those possessions. As it stands right now, he wants to play at top speed. Another wave dash hug and a headlock. Vatira, of course, no incentive to hold on to it with a 4-goal deficit. Mawkzy likely would have sat there and held it if he wanted to. There's the GGs. Vatira's had enough. It is a series win. Mawkzy throwing the GGs as well. 3-1 as Mawkzy takes the $150 and prepares himself for Salt Mine 3.